you have a relationship.
Thank you very much.
So you're broken down here.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And we move on to our last contestant.
Okay, and she's from Malaysia. She's very hyper, nice girl. Her name is
Let's go.
Hanim Hamzah.
Come on.
Hey, relax. I know you're kind of friendly type of girl. Come on.
Thank you.
But what do you think about other contestants? Are they really like, are you competing with them, or you think they're good or whatever?
Everyone's good. That's what I think. Yeah, everyone's trying their best.
You ready for your song now?
Yep, I am.
Okay, what's the song's title?
Antara Anyer dan Jakarta.
This is the second best song in Asia Bagus.
That's right.
Every contestant
Thank you.
will come Sinaran or this song.
That's right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Hanim Hamzah.
Derusan ombak bersilih ke pantai, disambut alunan biru melambai.
I cannot play. All right. No favorite. All of me. Why not take all of me? Can't you see I'm no good without you? Take my lips, I want to lose them. Take my arms, I'll never use them. Your goodbye left me with eyes that cry. How can I go on there without you? You took the part that once was my heart, so why not let go of me?
Marks the International Women's Day, and often we talk about the achievements of celebrated public figures, but what about the strong everyday women who serve as role models among us? Well, we found an example of one such woman here in Asia who not only cut through the glass ceiling her profession, but also inspires with her can-do attitude. Take a look at this.
My name is Hanim Hamzah. I'm the regional managing partner of a corporate law firm based in ASEAN. The visibility of women in the legal profession, and especially in partnership positions, senior partnership positions, has grown. I'm from a small town in Ipoh, Perak, in Malaysia. I wasn't in the best classes. I'm not the typical nerd type student in school. But with tenacity, I think with hardship, you want to come back and make your parents proud. Whenever I get the chance, I will run, sign up for half marathon or for a full marathon. Another thing that I'm passionate about is singing. I do have a jazz quartet. I enjoy that very much.
And Hanim joins us live now from Hong Kong. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. So we just heard from you there. Tell me who inspired you.
I call upon, mothers, daughters, sisters, women in positions to rise up and impact change. So it is important times.
And what do you do at your firm to make sure of gender equality and to inspire the next generation of younger women?
Well, at our firm, we are very fortunate. We have 54% of women in senior leadership positions, but that is quite an anomaly. Within the firm, we have International Women's Day programs, we have total wellness initiatives. But what we are campaigning is also on gender parity, on people to speak up and find their passions. I think people. I mean, I'm defined. I love my job. My job is a number one passion, but there's also other passions, and I think as we need to have a very balanced life. So this is something that we advocate strongly as a firm.
And briefly, before we let you go, we saw you running marathon, singing as well. It's all about juggling for a lot of women, isn't it? So how do you find time to juggle everything?
I think you just need to make time. I mean, at the end of the day, you have many interests and you slot it in. I think I travel quite a bit for my work, so in my calendar I make sure that I make time in the morning to do a run or to see if there's any local races. It helps with the jet lag most times. So you just have to make that time. And as I said, I think find your passion and make time for it.
Hanim Hamzah joining us live from Hong Kong. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. And
I forgot.
We were muted, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope everybody's doing fine. Liz, how are you doing?
Unmute myself. Okay, yeah, hi, welcome to Mamaliez. Sorry about that, a little bit of technical disturbance. So welcome to Mamaliez tonight. What is Mamaliez is all about? It's about inspiring others by sharing behind closed doors stories, inspiring stories in an authentic way with unconditional love and respect. Before we go any further, I just want to share first what's next for next week on Friday. Our special guest will be, ta-da! Let me see, Dr. Nina Hafiz. Okay, she is a child and clinical consultant and psychologist, and she lives in Doha, Qatar now. So she is one of my good friends. So one thing I love about her, how she's able to create all the positive energy around her. Everything is so, she's, even though she faced any challenges or whatever, she always coming with a smile. So she will share her experience, and through her also as a psychologist, she will share with you how she handled her challenges in a positive way. Okay. So, and the next show that I think I want to share is tomorrow. Actually, we're supposed to have Chris Simeon to join us, but at the last minute, he couldn't make it today. He told me he has an emergency issue. So we have someone from our Topcom family. Thank goodness, we have lots of expertise in there. So we have Stanley Horn, who will be my special guest tomorrow, who will share his expertise. He is a certified financial planner and is specialized in insurance, so in protection. So come and join us tomorrow at 4 o'clock, Saturday, live with me and him, and you can find out how we can access our family's insurance protection for us to easy enough and sufficient to protect our family. All right, so that's it for today. For what I'm going to share. The next one is now our special guest for tonight is my very, very close friend of mine. I met her when I was studying in the UK, Sheffield. She Bobo studied law. I was in Sheffield Hallam and she was in Sheffield U. And I didn't practice as a lawyer, but she did successfully. One of my most successful friend that I know, that really climb up career ladder. She's one of the first friend I know who left Malaysia and so courageous at a young age, working her first. She was sent out to when she was working with Zaid and Co. And let me see, get her information here out. And I'd like to introduce you, Miss Hanim Hamzah. She is now the regional managing partner of Zico Law Network Singapore, and she co-founded the Asian Legal Tech Initiative. She's a trial freak. She's also a jazz singer and a mother of one daughter. Her name is Ria. So now, without any wasting any time, we're gonna bring her out. Let me see here, makeup. Let me get where is she? Oh, let me take her out.
All right.
Hi,
Welcome.
Hanim. Hi,
Hello,
Hanim. How are
guys.
you? How are
I'm
you
fine.
doing?
I'm fine. Hello, Liz. Hello, Nina. Thank you for inviting me to be on Mamaliez. Such an honor.
I know,
Thank you.
and it's such an honor to have you here today. I know you've been very busy taking care of Ria, and you even had to change your place from upstairs to downstairs so that you don't wake her up because I know she's sleeping right now, and I totally understand. So let's start off with our what you're going to share with us tonight is about your journey from your career to a mother and your daughter. So how about we go back to during your childhood? How is it like? How was your parents, your mom, your dad, and how are they influencing your life to be who you are today? How do they influence you?
Okay, first of all, good evening or good morning, afternoon from wherever anybody is sitting. Thank you very much for having me and thank you very much for tuning in. I hope this will be informative for you for the next hour. I'm really pleased to be speaking to my two oldest and dearest friends, Nina, who I've known from, I don't know, when was it, 9 from Ipoh, I think, we grew up in the same school. She was the girl with the red, I always remember you, the red romper at the tuition class. You had this like red suit that you always wore. I think it's your favorite thing, and you look very cute in it.
I don't remember that.
You always like something bright from young, huh, Nina? And
Yeah,
now you got
definitely
red
bright.
hair.
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah, she's yeah, and Liz, of course. I think I've always said, if ever I had to choose an amazing race partner, it would be Liz for sure. She would do everything and anything to win, and super capable mother and extraordinary. And now with this talk show, I'm really proud of you, Liz. Well done on this platform.
Thank you.
So I
Yeah,
hope
I have a mentor as Nina is my mentor,
Mentor only in helping her start her show. That's why I'm writing
Yeah.
notes.
You're gonna give me feedback later.
That's great. I mean, so I hope this, whatever sharing, will be useful and I would love to have questions and make this a dialogue, more also learning for me as well, because there's still tons and tons to learn. So on the childhood, your question about childhood, pretty ordinary, really. I started primary school at BBGS in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And then when the family moved to Ipoh, because my dad was transferred, we moved to main convent Ipoh, where I met Nina at school. Yes. And, it's a typical working / middle class family, usual routine, school, friends, activities after school, piano and taekwondo and all this tuition, and all this kind of swimming, sports. So it was a typical childhood.
Yeah, this is you. Yeah,
What's
baby.
this?
Is that your brother?
What's this?
Got for my PA. Yeah.
This is like an
Is that your mom?
overachiever.
No. This was a segment that I was interviewed a couple of months ago. I think there was a summary. So anyway, what was the next question you asked me about childhood and then?
Yeah, I mean, maybe you can tell me what are the things that your dad that maybe has taught you, that has carried you through your life, that you remember, anything that you learned from him or your mom?
Okay. Father first. I was very close to my late father. He was always championing and supportive in what I do. He used to drive me to school in the mornings. We had this routine where I start the car, the engine, I play "I Am What I Am" really loudly before he came in, and then we'll sing together on the way to school. We did sports together. We sang together, as I said. So when I think of him, I remember fun and laughter. Unfortunately, he passed away 4 months ago in November from an unexpected post surgery complication. So it was sudden and very difficult for me due to COVID 19, of course, the inability to be by his side during his final moments. I'm, I'm very, very proud of him. I think, his mother, my paternal grandmother, was a single mother raising 6 children, and she was a domestic helper cleaning homes. So it wasn't easy, growing up very, very poor. So my father has done well for himself, and nowadays, most nights, I think he still comes to my dreams. I sometimes feel like he's still there in Malaysia, that alive and smiling and cheeky as he is. I'm sure Nina remembers my dad as well. So
Yeah.
it's a bit surreal, to have a father pass during COVID-19. You can't be at the funeral. I could have flown in on RGL, the reciprocal Green Lane, but I would have had to quarantine 14 days, and I was then still breastfeeding Rhea, so it was just difficult. I miss him very, very much. So
Uncle
great
Hamzah was
influence
amazing.
and
Yeah.
Hmm?
Amazing man, amazing dad.
Thank you. My mother.
Yeah, but
is-
how do you, yeah. Okay,
do you
sorry.
wanna- sorry.
How do you cope during the pandemic? That did you? I mean, it wasn't easy for you because you were in Singapore, right? You didn't get to go back.
Yeah.
So how
I
do
stayed.
you
I stayed on.
overcome? Yeah,
I made the decision to stay on because of safety, having a child so
yeah,
young, and I was, and I was still breastfeeding her at that point during when the complications happened, and it was all very fast. Within 3 days, we went in for minor surgery. That then he didn't wake up post surgery and passed. So my flight was going to be the next day after he passed, and by then he was ready. He was buried before Margaret on that day that he passed already. So my mom actually said, "If you're coming back for Papa, then don't do it because you have to quarantine, be away from your daughter. He's safely buried now. Just pray for him and think of him and come when it's safer." So it was really my mother who made that. Sometimes you have in life, I think that those hard decisions, she
yeah.
helped release me of that kind of. I felt that the obligation that I needed to be there. But she's very practical, my mother. And now segueing into my mother, who's a force to be
Yes.
reckoned with. I think also, she at the age of 17, she ran away from home because she was supposed to have a
Really?
pre-arranged marriage. Yeah, pre-arranged marriage with an ustaz in her village. So as protesting, she ran away to her aunt's house in Taiping from Kampung Kepayang, where she was raised, and to further her education. So she went to University of Malaya. She met my father, and then made him go back to university because they are 11 years apart. So Mama was a full-time working mother, and also made time to raise us, ensure that if Papa was the fun parent, she was the strict one that made sure that we went on time for our tuitions and all the different opportunities that we had.
Mm, mm. So in a way, it's quite balanced, both of them, raising you guys. Everyone has a different role when they raise you, yeah?
That's right.
So I want to, maybe before we go there, maybe we like to see who is online right now, wherever you are. Maybe you can just have a shout out
Abdul
and
Halim, yes,
let
that's
us know.
online. We've got Angela
That's my,
online. Yes, that's your dad. So all the dads are
yeah,
now.
my dad.
Who
That's
is
my
here to
dad.
help?
Hi, Papa.
Here to help
Here to
is
help.
the channel, is Liz's channel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Here to help
Got it.
is my platform. Yeah.
I see.
So my dad here, actually, my dad just came out from a surgery few days ago.
Wow.
Lah,
Oh dear.
yeah.
Everything
So
went.
he
He's
just
okay.
yeah, yeah. He went well. He went well. He's great, and My dad is really amazing. He shows his strength and he's still smiling. And he's doing well. Yeah. So I think thank you, Papa, for watching tonight with Hanim.
Hello, Uncle.
Okay. So let's share the picture. I don't know whether you met my dad before, remember, at my wedding, right? Or before?
No, very many
Let's
times. He's such an
okay, let's
extraordinary man.
yeah, many times. So this is a picture of you singing. When did you start singing?
According to my mother, I started singing at the age of 5 because we were living in Kampa and Papa was in KL and we had to travel pretty much every weekend to see him. And I would sing carriage to carriage or seat to seat on a carriage to people, to like strangers. I pity those people. But yeah, so it was a passion since I was very, very young and encouraged by both my mom and dad.
Right. So and then how did you end up here in Asha Bagus?
Well, you've
At
done all
17
this like
years
pyro
old.
stuff. You've done.
17 years old.
Liz, maybe you want to explain what Asia Bagus is.
Well, Asia Bagos is one of the talent performance show, which started in 1990, I think, yeah, and it spent until year 2000, and it was one of my favorite show. You know, every time I always because that time there's no on demand like Netflix. You know, you have to know the timing exactly, otherwise you miss the entire show. Yeah, you missed it. So I'll make sure I'll be on time in front of the TV. The Asia Bagos is coming on, and I'll be watching in front Asia because I think I'm not sure what every Friday I can't remember, but I was there and I really love to watch all the young performers. But I didn't get to see you. I don't remember whether I watched yours at that time. We don't know each other yet, right?
Yeah.
But
You
yeah,
didn't realize it
so
was her? You probably watched it. You probably didn't realize it was her.
yes, I didn't realize it was her, and so there are performers from all over Asia, from Korea, I think Japan, Singapore, Thailand,
Indonesia.
Malaysia, and Indonesia, and you compare, and then the famous Chris Dayanti was discovered from there, and also from
Amy
Indonesia,
Mastura
and
from
Annie
Malaysia.
Mastura. Yeah,
Right.
it could have been Hanim Hamzah too, but she chose to be a lawyer though, right? so,
So how did you
so
end up
tell
in
us how.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, as I said, singing was something that I liked to do, and I did a lot, as Nina will remember at school.
Yep.
And my father, bless him, he supported that hobby and sent me to singing lessons in KL. So from Ipoh to KL, I would take the small plane, the
right,
Fokker flight in the weekends and take sing lessons. And he didn't have to spend that money, but he did. This is like the age of 12, 13, 14. I think, those
right,
years, those were 3 years.
right,
And at that singing shop, I was spotted by a label and approached to
right.
do to cut an album. In fact, we recorded one single, and then kind of there were shows at RTM, children shows and things like that. So that's how I was approached for Asia Bagos. Yeah.
Okay,
Wait,
that's
what year
awesome.
was this? How old were you when you were going to KL for these classes?
I was 12, 13, 14, 15, I think, until 15,
Oh,
and then
right.
had to make a decision. Had to make a decision whether would proceed with a label to do an album, that which meant then weekends of promoting the album at malls and stuff like that, at least in school. And so the decision, I think, I remember sitting down with my father and he said, go doing it, because my big idol was Sudirman, and he is like a lawyer singer, right?
Oh,
So yeah. For those people who still remember the late Sudirman Haji Arshad.
Of course,
So
he's a legend. Yeah.
yeah, well,
so
we remember
when
because of our age.
so you sat down with your dad and you guys had a talk which path you want to go to, and you were at 17 years old. You were already having this serious conversation at 17.
No, this was even at 16, I believe, when I was still at singing shop, and then that's when they approached me with the label. I was still 16, and then I said, no, I do want to be a lawyer. I said, okay, then let's pursue that, and then we stopped the singing lessons, and then kind of concentrate on that, and then I went to the UK. In fact, when Aisha Bagos was aired, I was already not in the country. thank God. And then after that, there was the finals a couple of months later, and they called up my parents, to say that they needed, because they wanted equal representation, because always the Indonesians always win because they're just so good. So they wanted,
Yeah.
and then they said whether I was interested to go to the final in Tokyo, because my marks, I think, because I won the weekly, but I lost the monthly, but by very small points. But my parents never told me about this Tokyo offer until many years later. I think like 4 or 5 years later. They didn't want to. I was already in Scotland then with Scottish Highers, and they didn't want to distract me. So I guess.
Wow.
Had they told you, what would you have done? Out of curiosity.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I think I probably would, unless somebody's going to fund me or whatever to fly back. Whatever, it would be disruptive for school, right? I would have
Yeah.
been upset. Maybe I would have wanted to go, perhaps. So I think they made the decision just to not tell her. So yeah, that was
Awesome.
So when you decided to study in the UK, I show you a picture here. This is your picture of you while you're studying overseas, right? So at 16 years old, you were talking to your dad, and then what were going through your mind, like singing, be famous, or lawyer?
No, I think the conversation was what was a kind of more a career that has more longevity, and I think in that sense, um, lawyering I think would be the better bet, and you can always go back, do singing later, get the degree out of the way, and then decide later, once you have the degree in your pocket, kind of thing. So which it's the best advice, I think. Ultimately, it's very hard to be a successful performer.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And you
So
love
we
what
had, yeah.
and you love being a lawyer, right? What you do?
I do, and I have had the opportunity to continue singing,
Yeah.
while I'm lawyering in Indonesia.
She's
I come across very good musicians, where we have a little quartet, and we do shows called, Nusantara Nuvo, the little clip that you showed. So we've traveled and sang in many different cities. So yeah.
So you basically became like Sudirman too.
Yeah, you became
Right?
your idol.
Yeah, I guess in a way.
In a way, lawyer and performer. We have here, I think it's your friend Indra
Hi,
Sobari.
Indra. Yeah. Hi, Indra.
Is he in Indonesia?
Yes.
Where?
He's one of my dear friends
Ah,
from Jakarta.
hi Indra. Thank you for tuning in and watching us. Maybe you can share with us about your experience, Hanim, while she's in Jakarta. Anything interesting experience you have heard? Share with us on the comment. Okay,
Be kind.
so be kind. No dirty secret. So now once you have you start your first job after you graduated, and what happens next?
Okay. So if I would have to I'm 45 now, so I would have to like break up my years. It would be block of 15-year blocks, I guess, right? 0 to 15 was pretty much in Malaysia growing up, schooling in KL,
Yeah.
in Ipoh. The second 15-year block would be tertiary education, about 8 years in the UK, and then qualifying and working as a lawyer in KL for 2 years. And then I went to Japan, in Tokyo for 5 years. And then the last 15 block of 30 to 45 would be Jakarta, in a management partner role in the firm, and then now in Singapore. Been in Singapore now for 4 years.
Yeah. But I'm really curious, Hanim, but how did you start up with Zayed and Co in the first place after you graduated? What did you do? Like I know a lot of people, it's very hard even to intern in Zayed and Co. I have my sister tried to go in as well. It's not easy, yeah. She's also a law graduate. Try to be intern in Zico also is not easy. Maybe you can tell how you.
Well, this is mid 90s, so it's a while ago when Zico was all of, I think at that point, maybe 40 lawyers. a fairly up and coming local law firm. I came back from UK to Malaysia during the financial crisis. I think it was just time to go home and work. So that's what I did. I came back and then I Googled. I think that time it was just first years of Google. Google and say top 10 law firms and the usual, Screen, Shern, Shuklin, the big firms come out, and there's also this Zaid Ibrahim and co. So I sent applications, went for interviews, and then alhamdulillah received offers. The big firms were offering 300 ringgit, 500 ringgit, starting, but Zaid Ibrahim & Co was offering 1,000 ringgit. And this is like, what is this? What firm is this? It's not really famous because it's a growing firm. But 1,000 ringgit goes a long way for an Ipoh girl who needs to pay rent and petrol and everything else. Okay, let's just try my luck with this Malay firm. And c'est la vie. That was now 25 years I've been with the firm and kind of
That's pretty simple if you think about it. It's pretty loyal if you think about it. Were you not like
tempted to go somewhere else?
I did have a recess of 5 years when I went to Tokyo. I joined another law firm in Tokyo, but I came back to Zico. Yes, I think it's not common now for lifers, also they call it, right? I think especially with the younger workforce, but it's a good group of people who value the partners, who value hard work, who respect. I think it's a good group of people. That's what I can say. And I found like a home within Zicolo. I'm really proud of where the firm has been, how the firm has grown from a 1-country firm to a 10-country firm with 18 offices. So
and
So
then
sorry, I have to say this. Hang on. Indra is saying what happens in Jakarta stays in Jakarta.
That's right.
Yes, saying hello. Ina is saying hi, Hanim. It's Ina.
Hi, Ina, the champion. Also another great friend from Jakarta.
Okay, and Sue Chern is saying she's enjoying the conversation.
Hello, Sue.
Thank you, Sue. Yeah, so but okay, what make you decide to take the job in to Japan at that time from Malaysia? At what age were you at that time?
I was 25. And I was kind of like not really wanting to come back to KL, to be honest, after studying in the UK. I was dying to find a job in London or in New York. But it was a very difficult market at the end of kind of 90s, mid to 97, 96, kind of time when I graduated in 96. So, so any opportunity to leave Kuala Lumpur for another market I would grab it, even though at that point I didn't know any Japanese, no affinity. I've never even been to Japan. But I remember, in fact, I called my mom and dad and said, can we meet in Tapa at the rest area? Because I would drive from KL and they would drive from Ipoh, so we'll meet there to have, I said, I need to ask you some guys something. So we met and they say, what is it? I said, why? Because we were thinking in the car, we thought she probably need money or something. He was like, why are we meeting? It sounds so urgent. It's like, I wonder what it was. I said, well, actually I was offered this opportunity and I'm supposed to give an answer next week. What do you think? What do you guys think about, moving to Tokyo and do it's going to be a 1 year, 1+1 maximum. They were like, yeah, I mean, if you want to do it, just go, not a problem. In a heartbeat, they were just totally supportive. And that, of course, became 1, became 2, became 3, and 5 years on. Good old years. Did you come and visit me, Liz, in Tokyo? I don't remember.
No, not in Japan, only in Jakarta. At that time, I remember telling you I don't like Japanese food. That's why I didn't want to visit you.
That's why you didn't go.
I said, I don't like Japanese food. I don't want to go there. Only in Indonesia I came because there's good massage there, spas,
Good cream bath.
Cream bath. Yeah, but you were posted by Zico first. Yeah.
No, it was actually a secondment at first, but then I had to resign and then join the firm officially. The firm that I was in. Yeah.
So I think at that time, I think in the 90s, not many friends of mine do have that kind of courage to just leave Malaysia and just work overseas without knowing who anyone there, family. At that time, we
That's
don't have,
culture
yeah,
or the
that
language.
time, yeah, and the language barrier, and we don't have, at that time, we don't have WhatsApp, we don't have, we don't have the, internet
We
and all
didn't even
that.
have Facebook. It didn't exist yet.
Yeah, we had to buy
No,
phone cards and like scratch the numbers to
Yeah,
call
for
in order
long
to
distance, right?
save
yeah,
money. Yeah,
yeah. So
those were the
it's
days.
really a real you can be isolated. I mean, not isolated. I mean, you're on your own, really purely on your own. Like right now, even if I want to go somewhere, you always feel connected because we always have the phone, the laptop, whatever. We feel connected. We're not. But at that point, your age, I think it's very brave for you to just leave and go. And from that point, from Japan, then you move to Indonesia. So that was another different thing to set up Indonesian law firm with Zico, right? Maybe.
I yeah, they were very kind enough to remember me and to invite me back to join the firm. I was really more keen on. I think the first venue was Singapore. I remember flying to Singapore, doing kind of checking out the office and thinking about Singapore. But I felt like I wasn't ready for Singapore at that point, at the tender age of 30, because I felt like, because I do not know Chinese language, and I felt I was not senior enough for Singapore, and maybe Singapore was a lot like Tokyo as well. And so I declined the offer from Zico, and then continued with looking for other opportunities. And then Jakarta came into the picture, and they flew me again from Tokyo to Jakarta. It was very, very kind of them, and and I thought, okay, I negotiated a partnership package at 30. I thought, okay, let me become a partner, because when I got
Wow,
offers, if I was going back to London or
Cheryl.
New York, I cannot be a partner at 30. I would be a senior associate or an associate, right? And then you have to climb that ladder in any big firm in London, New York. So I figured join Zico for 1 or 2 years, do the partnership, and then try to get myself back to the West. But yeah, so that was in 2005, and here I am today, still with the firm. Very happily still with the firm.
Wow, bravo, Hanim. I'm so proud of you. To actually, hey, I deserve a partnership, nothing less.
Hmm.
A lot of people don't have that kind of courage to just say, hey, I'm worthy of this. This is the
But it
deal. You
wasn't
want.
easy. I mean, Jakarta was like, moving from fifth gear in Tokyo, where everything is very detailed. You learn about harmony, you learn about arduous, working very hard, long hours. And the Japanese very, very meticulous. And then to move to quite chaotic Jakarta, which is buzzing, very dynamic city, full of opportunities, but very developing. The court system is developing, the regulatory environment is developing. So you need to learn the nuances, you need to learn the culture. So they were very interesting years. The initial years were kind of teething years, needing to adapt. But in Jakarta, I found some of the best people, warmest, kindest friends who are now I regard as family. So it was great. It was very hard to leave Jakarta for Singapore. But it was good years, Indonesia.
So, what made you decide to move to Singapore?
I was promoted to the regional managing partner role. So after opening up Jakarta office with partners there and growing that office, in 2016, I was given the opportunity to be regional managing partner. So I was doing it the first year out of Jakarta, but which was not easy because you have to always fly from Jakarta, transit somewhere in order to travel, because the role required some travel. And so being in Singapore as a hub for ASEAN, because Zicolo is present in all 10 countries, makes more sense. And my KPI is also dealing with the doctor clients and relationships. So in Singapore, closer to Malaysia, where our largest office is based, and then to the region, easier to travel as well, made sense. That's why I'm here in Singapore.
But
It's an easier environment.
one thing I love about you is that how you're able to combine what you love to do, your passion, traveling and do things and marathon with your work at the same time. How do you do that? A lot
How
of
do you
people
find
like,
the
I don't
balance?
have the time. I don't have the time. I don't have the time, right? Right, Nina? Always,
Yeah,
you also
I
don't have
don't.
the time.
I don't.
People always say, I don't have the time to do this. I don't have the time to exercise. I don't
Yeah,
have the time.
and you don't just have time for your marathon, but you're also singing on the side. So if somebody wants to juggle all these kind of things, and now you're a mother, how do you have a balance?
Well, I've
What's
been
your
very lucky, I guess, to have been able to integrate work and non-work activities. I mean, for me, when you're at work, you need to apply yourself fully and complete the task. So then that's kind of done and it's back in mind. So similarly, for non-work pursuits, be it music or sports or travel, to really invest the time and to do them well. I think that's the key, basically. And then in my role, I mean, I have had to travel for work, so establishing, I think, lasting relationships during those travel and building good connections. So you help make work feel less work-like because you make really good friends. And at the end of the day, clients are also like you and me. Like they are people with families and with interests and with pursuits. So finding common ground, making genuine connections, I mean, are key. I think so that helps to make work fun. You know.
Mm. You know, Nina, let me tell you, okay? One thing me and Hanim, I think what we have in similarity is that we both always do things in a very unconventional way. We don't really follow, what is expected by the society, okay? But I use very cheap way. Now, if I do things, not that I go a 1 star, 2 star, but this girl, no. I do unconventional way. I do 5 star style, not 1 star, 2 star like me. I go backpacking around the world for 2 years, here and there. Huh? Be like student life lah, kan? At
Yeah, I've had
25.
my student share. I did the whole Euro sleeping on trains and YMCA kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Been
but
there too.
when you're student, of course. But I'm 35, I'm doing that.
Look,
But you,
the important thing is you know your goals, and regardless
yeah,
of the circumstance, whether it's a
yeah,
student budget or a
Making it
high
happen.
budget, you make it
yeah.
happen.
We
Yeah.
make it
Making
happen.
the
The
time.
best thing, it doesn't matter. Okay, I
Yes.
think we just achieve what we want, what makes us happy, and we just adapt to it. Make the way. And I love that about Hanin, and that's what I really admire about you. How you get to do it, everything. I would like salute.
Thank
And
you, but I'm
even when
sure.
I was living,
Well, I'm sure many out
yeah.
there have not had opportunity, maybe because of resources, because of time, because of constraints. So, I think we have been lucky. So should be thankful, I think, in terms of how we've managed to integrate the whole work and life. But I'm sure a lot of people out there, it's not that easy.
I
And
have a
yeah.
question.
Hmm?
So you've been working in like Japan and stuff, and you were also in Indonesia, in Jakarta, right? What has the countries kind of taught you about yourself?
Okay, in Japan, I guess to understand and appreciate a very homogeneous society and culture.
Mm.
So with the Eastern ways of doing things and how they're so conscientious and how it's such a developed economy, the kind of service level standards, the etiquette, the ethical, ethics, the values. I think those are very good grounding as a young lawyer working there
Mm.
and doing things, making things do well. For Indonesia is adapting to being resilient. I think is important, and adapting to the different circumstances because it's so dynamic and so chaotic in a way, and it's moving and exciting. So that's I learned to be more agile when I was in Indonesia. Because also there's also that nuance of Malaysia Indonesia love hate relationship as well. I think understanding the political constraints and how to be harmonious, be respectful, and all of that is very important. And I learned a lot from Indonesian colleagues who were very generous with with teaching me.
Okay.
Okay. So how does that, from being a really busy career woman, that you thought of being a mom? How did that idea come to you?
I guess
Or has it always been there?
no. The path to motherhood is of course different for different people. I had a desire to become a mother after I turned 40, so it's quite late. So after dedicating my 20s and 30s to work and travel, and it was a somewhat difficult few years turning 40. I reflected on my achievements, reflected on where I've been and traveled and things, and felt like I still had a lot of love to give. And I wanted to experience the miracle of creating life, and then that's when I think, that's when I decided that I want to become a mother.
Awesome. So maybe you can share your journey on Ria, having Ria with you. Um, uh, I understand that you have IVF as well in getting Ria. Was it difficult journey for you trying to get to conceive her?
Well, I guess some pregnancies are planned, and some just happen. Mine had to be planned because, as I said, I hadn't thought about motherhood at all in my 20s and 30s. So I had a really long think about what it takes and how my motherhood would change my life. Because I guess I was a lot more mature and really had to think about the decisions very, very carefully because it's a huge decision. I
Yeah.
read and did a lot of research. So found that apart from Cambodia, which had some slightly less stringent rules, generally all across 10 ASEAN states, only recognized married couples are permitted to utilize IVF and other assisted reproductive services. So, due to the lack of established laws and regulations in most ASEAN countries, so matters around egg freezing, egg donation, sperm donation, surrogacy are applicable only for recognized married couples. And
Right.
because of religious laws as well in these countries,
Yeah.
assisted conception practices and surrogacy are often deemed as, I guess, infraction of religious sensibilities. So it's not easy, right? In order to be pregnant, I needed to undergo IVF. So I really needed to look outside of ASEAN to see how that can be done legally and properly. I had a really good doctor, a reliable facility, and most importantly, the support of close friends and also family. Alhamdulillah, I guess the pregnancy itself was smooth. And 16 months ago, I was blessed with a healthy baby girl. I gave birth in KL, but returned to Singapore in December when she was 6 weeks, 6 weeks, very, very young, tender, 6 weeks old. Not like everyone, I did not know, or fathom or foresee there would be COVID, a pandemic looming. So while it has not been easy to be separated from family and close friends, bringing up a very young baby alone, pretty much with Ram, of course, a fantastic helper, caregiver. With the close friends and new friends that I've made in Singapore also help, very, very, very supportive. But with the closing of borders as well with COVID-19 and restrictions of travel, it has helped change the way I would normally work. By working from home, I've had the privilege of and pleasure of being front and center to her development. If not, it would have been very, very difficult. So things kind of fell into
Fall in
place.
place. Fall into place. Huh? I think it's perfect timing for you. But I tell you, Nina, I want to share our journey when we tried to register Ria's name.
Yeah, I was thinking which of my dear friends in KL that I would ask to go with me in order to get this done, because we have to be very persuasive, and the person that came to mind was of course Liz, and at a heartbeat she was just like, of course, I'll come with you, I'll make time. And she came to my confinement center. I was in KL after the birth at the confinement center for a month. She came and visited me, and we planned it, and then we went to not one but three different immigration office, right? We went to the PJ one, and then back to Jalan Duta one, and back to the PJ one, and finally to the Putrajaya one, because I was adamant that I wanted Rhea to have my surname. And through the kindness of of the Putrajaya staff, they're very kind, and there was no issue. It was smooth, I think, right? Right. We were very surprised how receptive they were. It was just about signing before condition of oath, saying that you would like to have the name that you want to put to your child, and we got that. So there are ways. I think for those people who are listening up there, there are ways of trying to select the name that you want. If you didn't want a Binti in the middle of your name, or you didn't want Abdullah last name, you want your child to follow your last name. There are ways to do it. I think perseverance and having a great friend like this helped.
It was like an amazing race, isn't it, Hanim? Because we were like,
So you did get your amazing race partner in the end.
yeah, we did. Because with Ria behind and Hanim, and I was
car seat, carrying her up and down, change her diaper at the counter,
eating in the car. We were like, because we were going from one branch. We went to the branch in PJ. It did, it was closed. They were
like lunchtime. Sorry, nak makan.
Lunchtime, nak makan, tak boleh. And then never mind, we go to the one in Jalan Duta. Go to Jalan Duta. And then went to Jalan Duta. Oh, cannot. It has to be Binti Abdullah. Okay. So we are like, okay, never mind. We go back to PJ. We never can try that. Drive there. We went to PJ. And then they say, oh, same. We have to have Binti Abdullah. So then he said, I think God is really great. Maybe gave him, to share with us, hey, why don't you try Putrajaya? He said, oh, Putrajaya? Yeah. So we're all from PJ.
You said try Putrajaya, the staff in PJ.
Yeah, they go to the main office basically, because they say they cannot make a decision. They say who has the discretion, the highest authority. So basically, it all goes back to Putrajaya.
Yeah.
So I think laws and regulations are there for a purpose. We must respect laws and regulations. But I guess there's ways that we need to find out why the regulation is there for a purpose. How can it be? Just to have discussion. I think that's very important.
Yeah, definitely.
Not to give up. Not to give up.
Not to give up. So we went there. At that time was nearly closing time. It was like nearly, what time was it? 4 o'clock closing time or 5 o'clock? 5 o'clock closing time. So we only had less than an hour and a half. So I had to drive like, the car.
A race car driver.
Yeah, like a Formula One driver. So we drove it.
We went there, then we only had like 40 minutes, and we had to the commissioner, we had to come back in the next day, Rhea again in the car.
Yeah, we did with the commissioner and all that done, and we just, when the best part when Hanim put the paper in, right, and then the lady just okay, look, yes, okay, and then it was pop approved and gave it to Hanim, and both of us just like trying to look very cool.
we were so excited and so happy.
At that time, both of us wanted to scream or whatever, but we can't show that we're like excited. We're like, cool, keep it cool. So we were like screaming, be happy. But yeah, it was really an amazing experience. Like
unforgettable. And thank you, Liz. Thank you so much, Annie. I owe you.
Rodzia thinks support group is so important for both men and women. Definitely true.
Definitely. Rodzia OG is who was
we were in Zikolo together.
And it's a small world. And small world, her name, she's in Qatar with me.
I know.
Yeah, I met her there. Hi OG, thank you for tuning in. Yeah, it's a small world, and she's a fantastic woman.
Actually, the world is extremely small. I mean, who would have thought that? I grew up with Hanim, and then Hanim would end up in the UK with you, and then I'd be hosting the show with you, and then Hanim's on the show.
Right? Isn't it amazing? So yeah, I'm so glad that it turned out well. I think it's at the end of the day, is babies are a creation of God. Yeah. Yeah, creation of God. I mean, I always believe that if it's not meant to be happen, to be there, it won't be happening. But amazingly, you know, kurniaan Allah, He wants to give you Hanim, and she's a beautiful girl, Rhea, and you become a fantastic mom. She sleeps on time at 7:30 every day and sleeps through the
Wow.
night. It's not easy, okay, Hanim?
Well,
To get it on
she's only 16 months. Maybe I don't know. There's still a while yet, so there's a lot for me to learn.
no,
And
but
you've done fantastically with your two kids, Liz. You're very
uh,
proud.
I'm still
So she
learning.
sleeps like clockwork, 7:30, and she's out.
Yeah, pretty. I mean, pretty much. She goes to bed before 8 every day.
Okay.
9:30 between that time. Yeah.
And she sleeps the whole night through.
Most nights, she's better now. Otherwise, she'll just wake up at 2 or something for milk, and then she goes back to sleep. Yeah. She sleeps in her nursery now.
Yeah.
She doesn't sleep with me anymore.
So,
So that gives me
so
time to do this. Otherwise, it would be impossible. So
okay,
Liz,
sorry.
I can't hear
My
you. Did you ask
internet
me?
is not.
Yeah. So
My
you
internet is.
had a question.
No.
Well, Nina, you and I can chat.
Yeah, I think I'm like the only one. Do you have anything that you want to share with people, kind of thing, about being a mother or about, basically
Oh,
living your life and achieving everything, right? Because you
well, I
are
guess.
doing it, right? Liz, are you
Well,
okay?
in these times, is Liz back or is she?
No, she's not. Hang on.
Okay.
Okay, go on.
All right. I guess in this difficult time, and we're all living in, change is, it's constant. So in my 45 years of living, I've lived and worked in say five countries, and I guess embrace change, own it, and thrive in it. Definitely the lessons from COVID, from this pandemic, it's like resilience and agility.
All right.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm back.
No, no, it's
Okay.
okay. I was just
So,
Nina was asking me what are some kind of key
yeah.
takeaways or some point to ponder. I was talking about change being the constant, and especially now, this difficult time, we have
Hmm.
to continue to be agile and resilient and have very positive mental health because it's not easy for many people to be in a state where you do not know the end of the tunnel. I mean, of course, there's vaccinations and all of that coming through, but it's been a very, very long and arduous journey for many, right? Our life, most of us have changed tremendously.
Not just that.
Um,
Even
mhm,
with the vaccine, they're saying that because things have changed so much, we're never gonna go back to a normal world, right?
mhm, mhm.
So what's your advice for that? Like,
Yeah,
I
so embrace it. So embrace change and own it and thrive in it. Just being able to be adaptable, be resilient, and be agile, and then when you can give back. I think that's very important. Another thing is also invest early, invest in yourself early. So there's a pandemic or a difficult time, at least you have your safety net. I think for those people, um, who are going through their careers, yeah, try to keep a positive attitude and have different passions or different hobbies to keep yourself busy, so you don't dwell on the difficult times. Yes.
that's very true, because a lot of the time we dwell in the negativity and then we attract more of that, right? Because
Mm.
it's an attraction thing. We attract it. Liz, do you have any more questions?
No, I believe I feel the difference of your own energy, Hanim. That I feel that having Ria with you now make you more grounded. You know, more calm.
Are you saying
Really,
boring?
I see the
Grounded
difference.
equals boring.
Wait. Actually, that is a very
No,
good
it's
point. Liz, how has
yeah,
motherhood changed you? What was her name
yeah,
before motherhood, BM, and her name
yeah,
AM? So like before Christ, after Christ, except before motherhood, after motherhood.
I think it's not
yeah.
more something for me to say. It's more for you guys to observe. You are some of my oldest
Oh,
friends. How has
but
it
what do
changed
you
me?
think?
Oh,
What do
oh no,
you
I
think?
think I
From
think
your
definitely I'm
family?
more responsible. I feel I cannot make kind of I am responsible for a person, so
Mm,
so I have to think about my actions because consequences. I do want to be healthy, to continue to be healthy, so that I can live and to see her grow up. I guess because that's one of my insecurities. As an older mother, I want to be around, right? Because it's kind of very short span.
Another
So
older
so-
mother.
but you I think you were before me. So yeah, so that's those kind of insecurity and making sure
What do you
keeping healthy is very important.
Okay. And what do you think is the hardest part about being your journey of being a mother? Or there isn't any?
No, there is. The last year, when she was a baby to maybe 1 year old, was very not easy because we didn't have family and those close friends around. But as I said, I made really some really good supportive friends, some really great people in Singapore, and they've helped. But yeah, so those were difficult, not to have family close and close friends close to you in a new place.
And
those
the whole
circumstances.
process has been easy and stuff like that.
Alhamdulillah, I think I was very lucky with the pregnancy. I didn't have any sickness. I went through that. I traveled up as soon as after the first trimester. And the delivery, well, it was quite a long labor. I tried to do naturally, but then I had to do a C-section in the end, emergency C. But even then, I recovered pretty fast. So I have been very fortunate with how she came about. It's the first year, the nursing, the late nights, the waking up, the not sure, the anxieties. I think that those were sometimes very difficult.
And that was
They were difficult, yeah.
basically it lah. Okay. So, Liz, were you doing a magic show again?
Goodness. You know what happened? Because I changed position. I changed position of my table because I wanted to have a direct connection. And then I forgot to plug in my computer.
So your computer died?
Computer, the cable.
Okay.
Yes.
Are you on your phone now or something?
Sorry about that.
Okay.
No, I'm good. I'm back on the laptop.
Okay. Right.
So yeah, thank you so much, Hanim, for really sharing. I missed out just now on your. I mean, what my takeaway from you is
you're frozen
no
again.
matter what.
Okay.
Hello. Yeah.
You're back.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, perseverance. Yeah. I'm so sorry.
You cannot have Mamaliez without Mamaliez.
I know Mamaliez is like havoc right now. So yeah, I mean, thank you for really being with us tonight, Hanim, for joining us and sharing your journey. A very very special journey from from singing from young, your parents. Really, I think that at the end of the day, is having a family is really important. Yeah, that I see the guidance of your family. At the end of the day, is also I know we can fight like crazy, your family, but at the end of the day, we need our family there with us.
And family is not
Our
necessarily just
parents.
organic, but not biological family, but also families who friends who become families. I think those are important as well because they are the chosen kind of family.
Yeah, Angela. What's going on? Yeah, that's right. Yes, I'm back. We're just finishing. But I'm very happy I actually finished on time. At least something works.
Yay.
Okay.
So no questions
Yay!
from the audience?
Yeah, if you guys have any questions, let us know.
Yeah, Angela, you have any questions? OG, you want to have any questions that for Hanim? Would you like to ask any questions? Let me
It's a bit
see.
late, I think Friday night, everybody just want to go to bed.
Is that what's
Yeah,
happening?
because
So life is now what?
because
Why do you do it so late? I don't understand. Maybe
Because of me.
no, once upon a time, not only because of you, it's only now is the time my kid goes to sleep. This is the only time I'm free.
Okay. Well, otherwise we couldn't have you, Hanim.
That's true. That's true.
Oh, Rosanna is here.
Hey, Rosanna.
Yeah, she's saying hello from Manila.
Hello. Thanks for tuning in. Is Liz?
Liz, are you still there?
Oh my God.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you so much. I'm probably going to have to end this off. Liz, I hope you are there. Please come back in. But thank you so much for everything. I think if there's any, you know what, people tuning in, if there's anything that you guys got from this, what did you guys get? Let us know. For me, Liz is back. For me, I think, knowing you before and seeing you now very chilled, I think motherhood has made you super calm and chill.
Yeah.
Yeah, and very, very wise. I'm not used to this.
This is me on camera, darling. I do webinars all the time.
Yeah.
I'm a bit more measured.
You have to understand, I grew up with her. Anybody who gets us in trouble, it would be her. She was the one leading the pack. Okay, that was us.
Thanks,
Kind of
thanks.
thing.
This is recorded, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Hanim is always, and she's always like on the go, 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 like on the go, on the go. And like suddenly now I see her, yeah, I'm chill. Yeah, I'm okay. Like, oh, Hanim, okay.
Well, okay, so
Anyway.
there is a question from OG. What will be the first thing you'll do with R when back in Malaysia? That's a good one. Let me put this.
See my mom. I think my mom miss Rhea very, very much. So the first thing I'll do is, let her see her grandma. Because we only do FaceTime with grandma.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that is a good one.
Cool. And then what food will you look for?
What food?
Food is quite easy. Malaysia can eat. I don't really.
Yeah, but what food? Which one?
Kway goreng.
Wait, do they have in Singapore or not? Nice?
Not the same. The best kway teow is still from Ipoh, of course. And Auntie Nancy's cake. Oh, I miss that too.
Rosanna is here and say best wishes from Manila.
Yeah, once she made me carry this huge ass cake from Ipoh. Luckily I didn't take the train. There was a car. But it was like, I don't know how many kilos she made me carry Auntie Nancy's cake from Ipoh to KL for her.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it wasn't one cake. It was like...
This is a promotion for Auntie Nancy. The late Auntie Nancy. Our teacher.
Okay, cool. Liz, take it away.
All right. So anyway, thank you so much, Hanim, for joining us tonight and sharing your journey with us. And I'm so happy to have you with us and to see the Hanim, not wishing, the Hanim, the mommy Hanim. Mommy Hanim now. The mommy Hanim now.
I'm Ibu. I'm Ibu to Rhea.
Ibunya Ria. Yeah.
So nice.
Yeah. Ibu kepada Ria, and I'm super proud of you because
Thank you.
tell you a lot of decisions that you make. I see is a lot of courage that any woman should learn and take from it. If you want something, you just do it and go for it. I mean, don't allow anything to hold you back, because the Hanim, she don't allow anything to hold her back to get whatever she wants in her life. And thank you for that, Hanim. Despite the challenges, I know it's not easy for you. I know you go through a lot of challenges in your life, but I'm very, very
But
proud
only
of
with
you.
support and love from people like you guys, So thank
I was
you.
gonna say, Hanim's like thinking, what challenge?
Thanks, Nina. Whatever.
No. But I have to say, yes, you do have a very good support system. Not just the Ipoh people, but
we're Ipoh gang. We talk to each other every day.
Yeah, and then you've got your Jakarta people in Manila.
Yeah.
Team Manila. So Team Singapore is also there. So yeah, very, very blessed, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, you have a lot of teams supporting you everywhere in the world. So many people love you.
Asia bagus.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Hey, even her baby shower. How many baby showers you have?
I mean, normal people have one baby shower. She needed multi-locations. It was like, those fashion brands, KL, New York, London, kind of thing. She's like KL, Jakarta, Singapore baby shower kind of thing. So yeah.
Bila lagi.
Yeah.
Her baby
Thank you.
shower. Bukan orang lain, maybe lah in KL only few locations, right? Maybe maybe 2 or 3. Ini bukan in KL je lah. Indonesia,
Everywhere.
Singapore lagi
Asyik
Diorang play
bagus.
tak main asyik bagus. And I cakap 5 star. She do it only 5 star, tak main lah.
Okay.
I don't like what this is sounding. Well, okay. All right. Anyway, thank you guys. Good night. Have a good weekend.
I'm just kidding. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a good weekend. Thank you so much.
Mitzi.
And see you guys again next week on Friday with Mamaliez behind closed doors. Mwah, 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 mwah. Good night, everyone.
Bye.